and we're going to determine which of these Wikipedia quote-unquote facts on your page are real or not.
Have you looked today? Because I haven't seen that thing in forever.
Yeah, I'm on it right now. It says that you began wrestling at the age of 16 in 1991.
That is true. That was my first match in 1991.
You won your first championship defeating Playboy T.C. Cruz.
That is also true.
Interesting. You began calling yourself...
He came out to the final countdown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. You began calling yourself the Show Shane Helms.
Yeah, that was... what time frame was that? That was a year or two before WCW. It was after, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash came and they started making using your real names cool.
Yeah.
And, I was Kid Vicious for a long time, and I've been trying to get away from being called Kid Vicious. I thought it was a funny name, but it was funny because I was skinny and I didn't wrestle like Sid Vicious at all. And it's just kind of a play on the name, not nothing where I was trying to be him at all. But I wanted to go to my real name, and so I went with the Show, but then I stopped that then Big Show became the Big Show, and that kind of screwed me on that because what was I going to be, the Little Show? So there's that.
But you did end up using a choke slam for a long time.
True.
So you've seen crazier things. I don't think we need to ask this Green Lantern question. I think there are markings that we've seen that pretty much confirm that.
What is the question?
It says Helms is a comic book fan, and one of his favorite characters is the Green Lantern.
Yeah, he is one of my favorites, but not the. That's something people do get wrong sometimes. Black Adam is my favorite character of all time.
Hey, so it wasn't a fact. There we go. Well, it says one of your favorites, so I guess not. He also performed as a stunt double for David Arquette in the movie Ready to Rumble.
That is also true. You can see my name in the credits. It says Sugar Shane Helms.
So you worked as a stunt double for a WCW champion.
Yep, I guess so.
Helms owns a motorcycle called the Hurricane.
That is no longer true. I drove that bitch through a fence, and it is gone.
I remember that, so I guess that needs to be updated. I remember seeing the pictures from that. That was terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Not my brightest moment.
In 2008, Helms was assaulted in a club by an acquaintance.
By an acquaintance.
It says Dustin Nairn.
Oh. No, yeah, I beat some guy up, and then the cops came, and they kind of forced us to, not forced us, but it was one of those deals where charges had to be pressed either by us or them, and it just got thrown out. No big deal. Sometimes you got to beat people up in bars. It happens.
So, I mean, it appears as if your Wikipedia is virtually, flawless. At least, what we went over, for the most part. So that's good. We've had some interesting gaffes on there.